Hey everyone, welcome to the third and final part of the Tonfa video. Now, as I said before, the Genshin fight gets cut off, and I was really annoyed about that when I found out that happened when I was recording. And as I said before, if anyone knows a way to kind of stop that from happening in Ninja Cinema, I'd really appreciate if you could post that, or just post it on Iberians and let me know, because it's really becoming a real pain in the arse, like getting a really good run on video and then having one of the most important parts cut off at the end. And for this one, same as always in this way of getting back to it, just use your Tonfa UTs, Windmill Shuriken UTs where you get the chance. Again, always try and OT the Bangels, as I said earlier in one of the videos. A UT kill on them with an OT is worth 70,000 points, so obviously, you really want to go for that. But yeah, just talking back a little bit about the Genshin fight, the main reason I really wanted to get the Genshin fight on video was because it's easily the most uncooperative Genshin I've had. I've had him sometimes, he doesn't quite behave to any pattern at all, but on this run it was just absolutely insane. It took me easily upwards of 4 minutes to kill him, like with only one set of ninjas, because he just wouldn't let me attack him, at all. After every single attack he'd teleport and do his teleport kick, and that'd always chip away at my health, and that was happening just over and over again, and it was so frustrating, and that's the main reason I wanted to get it on video, was to show how no matter how hard you try, sometimes just survival's just not meant to be. It's not gonna go your way no matter what you do. But as I said, I did end up killing Genshin. I did get past him. I got all the way up to the Mentor Genshin on this Tonfa run, I think, or no, that was my Sky run. Sorry, on this Tonfa run, I can't remember where I got up to, but I did get past the Warrior Genshin. But again, for the ninjas, just try and get stuff out of them that you need. Obviously, in this case, I'd want health. And just the same thing as we've been doing this whole time, really. Just practice, and just get to know the waves, get to know what's next, get to know what's coming, and just concentrate on as much stuff as you can. Now, the Resetsu definitely becomes the hardest part about the Tonfa. Just likewise with the Vigorian Flails, because their UTs are extremely weak, so there's not a lot you can do. So upwards on this wave, I've just started to use Nimpo. I used Void Nimpo there by accident. I was meant to use Inferno. But Void Nimpo is more powerful, but it only hits one thing. And I wasn't actually supposed to OT in there. I went to dash and do X, Y, Y, but as I said, sometimes the frame rate can just trip over itself and, miss an input. But, OTing him is not really that big a deal, but I would have preferred to kill him normally and, try and get a health up out of him, or, preferably a Nimpo. That would have been the best one. Now again, for the mechs, just use the Windmill Shuriken cancel to downward Y. It's easily the best way to take out mechs with the Tonfa. You can easily do them without getting hit. They sometimes have a nasty habit of clipping you with their machine gun fire, when you land, but you can easily just dash and just use the wind path, use the Windmill Shuriken, and then just do the downward move again. It's got some good, the whole move pretty much, you're invincible throughout the whole thing apart from the landing part. And when you've only got one, it's really easy to just stun lock them and just do it over and over again and take them out. Again, for the Scorpions, just, exactly the same as before, just use the Windmill Shuriken, and that's pretty much it. One thing I will note about the Scorpions and the Pilbugs, though, if you come into this wave with a 5x multiplier, and you've got, say, full health and Nimpo, and you've just got, say, 4 green orbs or anything like that, basically coming into this wave, as perfect as you could possibly get. That's only probably going to happen on the Format A, because on the Resetsu, that Resetsu is a lot easier to kill, and he has Gauges with him, and Gauges are obviously a lot easier to kill than the mechs. So, you're probably only going to get that on Format A, but the best way to just get points out of this is you just either use Bow UTs or Windmill Shuriken UTs. Windmill Shuriken UTs is quicker, but you'll easily kill probably 5 or 6 with one Windmill Shuriken UT, whereas with the bows, Bow UTs rather, you can just get maybe 2, 3 at a time. Obviously, you can just chain UTs, and when Survival was first around, that was an early strategy before people started thinking of using Windmill Shuriken to just farm this bit for essence and try and replenish your supplies at that time. So, if you do use the Bow UT strategy, you'll probably get upwards of 200,000 out of UTs, which is definitely not to be sniffed at. That's a nice amount of karma to get out of this, but the odds of you being in just ultimately prime condition to be able to do that are very low, especially on Format B. And with obviously using UTs, you're not going to be able to set up perfectly for the next one. Now again, just use the regular Tonfa UTs for this. Now I think this is the time where it goes really well for me, and everything just basically gets turned into just bits and pieces with the UTs. It really shows just how devastating the Tonfa UT is against enemies that can be delimbed. So, you know, just keep chaining UTs over and over again. As I said, this is a really good example of how just, you know, being able to chain your UTs and taking note of what's happening, you know, sometimes it just works perfectly and you're just completely untouchable if you get a really, really good, strong chain of UTs going. Now that's that wave done already. As I said, you know, that is one of the hardest waves easily in the format, and you know, it just got turned into pate there. So you know, it's a good example of that working out my way. This wave again as well. Obviously, the higher you go, the more cautious you have to get. You know, that kind of goes without saying. But on certain waves, it really alters the strategy. On this wave, for example, you can kind of, if you really want to go for points, you can just chain UTs, you know, over and over again. But if you want to go for kind of survival and, you know, replenishing runs and that, and if you really want to go for a high score, then you're going to want to take out the Vangelfs first. As I said, ETs can take out Vangelfs easily with the Tonfa. You know, an ET can take out pretty much anything that can be delimbed with the Tonfa. So, you know, just use them, use the ET on them, and then just, you know, finish off the ninjas, sorry. And did get my Nimpo Orb back there as well. Didn't comment on that quick enough, but you know, getting your Nimpo Orb back for Genshin is always really good after the first wave, because he's only got one wave of health, so you can just change over to the Inferno Nimpo. That was a really well-timed Nimpo there, even if I do say so myself. But on this wave, like as I said, the Tonfas aren't really that well suited to taking out the mech. Like, and the mech is obviously the annoying thing, because he can knock you up in the air, juggle you, and then you can, you know, land in the mage's attacks, which is really annoying. So, you know, that guy giving me the Nimpo Orb on the very last enemy and then timing the Nimpo, because the Inferno Nimpo does take a while to come out. And another thing about doing the Azuna drop on mages, you should always be doing it anyway, but especially on mages, always pay attention to your hit count. Like there, my hit count was 11, but you know, on the Azuna drop, I knew my hit count would have to go to 13, and then I'd know if I'd have hit another mage or not. Because you know, if you don't hit another mage with the Azuna drop's impact, you know you're going to have to start dashing and do anything you can to get out of those recovery frames at the end. Now, obviously, I wanted to pick him up and set him up for an on-landing, but I did not want to absorb that health orb for that. Obviously, I just wanted to, you know, kill him regularly and just use regular essence for the on-landing. Now, that was, you know, a brilliant move there. I just got shot in the face and didn't do anything about it. Sometimes, you know, just my NGB habits just get the better of me, and, you know, just to hold the UT till the very, very last second, and, you know, it just doesn't work like that in NG2. So, you know, obviously you can be better like that and just not be so stubborn with releasing UTs. Hello again, everyone. That ending there really caught me off guard, and I just ran out of time of stuff to finish off what I was saying. Yeah, that's where obviously the Ninja Cinema cut off. It's always around the 24-minute mark, which is really starting to piss me off. I've got a brilliant Scythe run recorded that I got earlier today. I get over 5.1 million from the first wave. The second Genshin fight is, you know, practically flawless. But, you know, the second Genshin fight is probably not going to be on video because it's around the 24-minute mark. And even though I did kind of rip through it with the Scythe, you can just kind of go, you know, completely apeshit with UTs and just UT your way through it. But the Scythe video will be the next one. As I said, you know, it's going to be annoying, but I doubt the Genshin run will be on video. So if anyone knows any way of getting past that, you know, using Ninja Cinema, just, you know, please let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the Scythe video.